Hello, I'm Sarah Grady Ackerman. This year's gold medal winner in the Florida Book Awards General Fiction category is The Gendarme. Author Mark Mustian joins us. Welcome, Mark, and
Thanks.
Congratulations.
Thanks a lot.
Well, if you can you just give us a brief summary of your novel?
Well, it's the story of a 92-year-old guy who fought for the Turks in World War I. He was injured in the war, lost a lot of his memory, and then late in life and after immigrating to the United States, he starts to remember some of the stuff that happened at the beginning of the war, including in particular this young woman that was part of a group that he was escorting out of Turkey in 1915.
Okay. And how did you decide to write about this? I understand there's definitely a personal connection to this topic for you.
Well, all my life people have asked me, are you Armenian? And I would say, yes. I mean, my name ends in IAN, but it's way back there, and I never knew much about it. And one day somebody asked me, have you read this book, Black Dog of Fate? And I hadn't, and I did. And it was the story of a guy trying to come to grips with his Armenian heritage and what happened at the beginning of World War I. And what did happen was that the Armenians within Turkey were kind of rounded up. A lot of the men were killed, and the women and children and old people were forced to march out of the country to Syria.
Mm-hmm. And while researching this, how did that just impact you personally with a lot of the stuff that you were learning?
Well, it's hard to read. I mean, I did a lot of research. I read everything I could get my hands on, and I'd have to kind of do it in little bites because some of it is just so difficult of what happened.
Mm-hmm. I understand you even visited Turkey about 3 years ago. How did it feel to walk on the ground that you're writing about, and how much did it bring your story to life?
Well, it was an odd feeling. I went to Turkey after the publisher had agreed to publish the book, but before it had been published. So it was an opportunity for me to see if all the research and writing I had done actually was accurate. And for the most part it was. There were a handful of things that were a little different. I was glad I got a chance to change them in the book. But the kind of the emotional part of it, it's just kind of a weird feeling to drive along these roads that people would have had to walk along in the desert, and you're kind of wondering, are there bones right here? Did people die right here? I mean, it's a very kind of different experience.
And there's from what I understand, there's a lot of controversy around this time period. I mean, you had to be somewhat guarded during your visit.
Yeah, to this day in Turkey, it's a crime to refer to these events as a genocide. So it's a very taboo subject, and we had guides that were escorting us, and they were knowledgeable about all things historical relating to Turkey, except they didn't want to talk about this.
Mm-hmm. What do you hope when your readers finish that last page, what do you hope that they take away from your book?
Well, kind of the reason I did this, and one of the gratifying things of the responses I've gotten is that I want people to know about this, because most people, if you ask the average American, where's Armenia, or do you know about the Armenian genocide, and most people will kind of scratch their head and go, now, where is that exactly? And the number one response I've gotten to the book from readers is, I had no idea all this stuff happened.
And with that said, what does it mean to you to have won this award?
Well, it's a great honor. I mean, I'm a Floridian. I've lived here all my life, and so it's really nice to be recognized in Florida. So I really appreciate it.
Awesome. Well, congratulations, and again, thank you for your time today.
Well, thanks a lot. I sure appreciate it.
Production of this program is made possible in part by a grant from the Florida Humanities Council. Additional support comes from the Florida State University Libraries.